Politihoot! And now, from a lonely little corner of the Bronx.
Hey, my friends, we are talking about Donald Trump again, and his remarkable ability to turn America's allies into people who now treat us like a chat that has been screenshotted for legal reasons. Because at this point, America is not leading the free world anymore. We are the guy in the chat that everyone has muted, but no one wants to remove because they're afraid of what we'll do next. Let's start with NATO. Formed after World War II, NATO was designed around one core principle: collective defense. If one country is attacked, everyone responds. More importantly, that clause was invoked after 9/11, when the Allies came to defend the United States. So NATO is not freeload. It's like yelling at a friend who drove you to the hospital because they didn't chip in for gas money. And yet, Trump has called NATO a paper tiger. They threatened to leave the alliance and question whether the U.S. would defend our allies, which is stunning because NATO is not a Costco membership. You don't just walk up to the counter and say, I haven't used this in a year. I'd like a refund. Here's where it escalates. Congress passed a law blocking any president from unilaterally leaving NATO without congressional approval, which means we have reached the point where American foreign policy requires parental control settings. NATO is now protected the way Netflix protects your profile from a toddler. Now, let's get to the moment where things really broke down. The 2026 escalation involving Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Trump called on the allies to join military action. The allies very inconveniently asked, why? Multiple U.S. allies declined to participate, saying, this is not our war. Countries included Germany, Spain, Italy, the UK, Japan. They refused direct participation. And Trump's response? Cowards. Which is incredible diplomatic strategy. It's like saying, hey, help me fight a war or I will insult you until you feel safer not helping me. And here's the critical detail. Allies weren't just refusing randomly. They cited things like a lack of clear objectives, legal concerns, fear of escalation, which in international diplomacy is code for, this feels like a bad idea and we'd really like to stay alive. Now, instead of repairing relationships, Trump escalated. There are roughly 80,000 U.S. troops in Europe. That's not symbolic. That is the backbone of NATO deterrence. And Trump has floated the idea of pulling them out of the countries that didn't support him, punishing allies. That's not foreign policy. That's Yelp. 2 stars, Germany did not support my war. I would not invade again. And strategically, this matters because U.S. troops in Europe are not just about Europe. They're about deterring Russia. And just when allies thought things couldn't get weirder, Trump revived the idea of invading Greenland, which is a NATO ally. That's just not awkward. That's alliance break. That's like joining a friend group and immediately trying to move into the second bedroom of one of the friends in the group. If you're Vladimir Putin, this is incredible. You spent decades trying to divide the West, and now the West is doing it for themselves. It's like a reality show about bad roommates. Here's the part that really matters long term. Allies are adjusting. And the reason? Trust. Unpredictability is deadly in alliances because alliances depend on one thing: certainty. If allies aren't sure the U.S. will show up, they start planning for a world where it won't. And that is what is happening right now. Europe has been discussing military independence. Independent coalitions have been forming. Backup strategies have been emerging, which is the geopolitical equivalent of your partner saying, I trust you, but I also maintain a separate bank account. So let's take stock. In just a short period of time, Donald Trump has threatened to leave NATO, insulted allies publicly, tried to strong-arm them into war, and considered pushing them when they refused. They also floated pulling troops out of Europe. That's alliance speed running. In reverse, America used to be the leader of the free world. Now, we are the guy everyone is quietly preparing to work around. And that might be the most dangerous shift of all. Because once allies stop trusting you, they just don't announce it. They simply adapt. And that is how Donald Trump managed to take the strongest alliance system in modern history and turn it into a group chat where everyone is quietly typing new chat.
So that's all for us today here at Politihoot. Please leave a like or subscribe to the show or leave a comment below. You can also go to our Facebook page at Politihoot and check into Podline FM. You then can record your own voice and leave your own message that we might play on the show. Love to hear what you think.
Politihoot!